Thank you for inviting me here. And I was invited to share with you our experiences in value chain partnership or value chain development. So can we move to the first slide? Well, as a background and to share with you, the Upland Marketing Foundation was an NGO. I'll read my script. Acting as a marketing intermediary for agricultural and agri-based products from rural communities. UMFI started actually as a program, the Upland Marketing Program of the Philippine Business for Social Progress and the Upland NGO Assistance Committee. And the UNA was a partnership of social development and academic institution assisting NGOs aiming to serve upland communities effectively. And when it was conceived, the Upland Marketing Program identified 3 strategies that is for community-based business enterprises. The first one is marketing information dissemination, second is training, and the third is market linkaging. However, under the third strategy, organizations of small producers were linked to potential buyers of their produce. However, it was soon assessed that the linkages usually did not go further than the first transaction because of the fact that community-based enterprises were either late in their deliveries, brought poor quality products, and delivered below the ordered amount. So the community business enterprise capacities were below par or not meeting up to market standards. But despite this, the communities were expecting higher returns. But however, the buyers were frustrated and disappointed. So this prompted the program to play a more active role in market linkaging process by acting as a go-between between the community-based enterprise and the market. So with this active participational role, the Upland Marketing Program tried to ensure that market requirements were met by the community business enterprises, while also trying to make sure that the CBEs got fair economic returns. So with this situation back then, it was as a strategy, it developed mainstream market because in this particular market, it was back then would provide higher returns or higher income for community enterprises. Next slide, please. The Upland Marketing was created and incorporated in November 2000 from the Upland Marketing Program. And it was one of the few NGO initiatives that had made significant inroads in the mainstream market. So when we say mainstream market, these are the big retailers such as SM, Pure Gold, Shopwise, Rustans. And working on the theme, Bridging the Great Market Divide, UMFI had worked over the last decade to assist community-based enterprise by adding value to their produce and bringing this to the marketplace. In recent years, Upland Marketing had also given increased attention to helping CBEs penetrate the markets in their local areas. And Upland Marketing saw that the CBEs as key factors in local economic development. And our primary stakeholders are basically community-based enterprise in sustainable development, such as we have sectors in partnership in the indigenous communities, agrarian reform communities, coastal communities, and small enterprises in developing their capacities in sustainable agriculture, use of appropriate farming technology, organic farming, and non-destructive and environment-friendly practices. And we also have partners in xvid capacity building for indigenous communities. We have done assistance or capacity building for the non-timber forest products to achieve sustainable forest and resource management. Next slide. Now these are our community based enterprise partners that we have cultivated over the years. There's Kalahan Educational Foundation. They are based in Nueva Vizcaya. This is a community-based enterprise or indigenous communities where they have the mountain fresh guava jams and jellies, and it is distributed in selected stores here in Metro Manila and outlying provinces. And we have the Pecuaria Development Cooperative, who is our CBE partner, supplying us with organic red rice. And Cooperativa Likas ng Nueva Ecija, based in Nueva Ecija, where they supply us and we market their white and brown rice here in Metro Manila. We also have a partnership with Cooperativa Santo Niño for brown rice, Sultan Kudarat Muscovado Farmers Corporation for Muscovado sugar, and recently, or just recently, last year, we are now supporting Linabu Agriculture Multipurpose Cooperative in distributing their cocoa sugar. I would like to share to you the vision statement of Upland Marketing from the last decade. So it's serving community-based enterprises by providing mechanisms for local economic development in marginalized communities through the generation of income and employment opportunities that are anchored on the processing, value addition, and marketing of local materials into high value and marketable products to local and mainstream markets. Medyo mahaba. But we operationalize this vision, and I will be sharing with you in the next slides. We have identified, as I mentioned earlier, Upland Marketing played an active role between the CBEs and the markets, but we have identified primary barriers to trade. In the area of CBE capacity, there was concerns regarding the product marketability. So, because community-based enterprise don't have the access to valuable market research for quality standards, they are unaware of the stringent requirement for consumers for high quality, and they are not too much familiar with the standards, the standard sets for good GMP or the HACCP. For supply capacity, there's also a problem with regards to volume. We have experiences with community-based enterprise where we have already engaged or we already introduced their products to the market, but when it was displayed on the shelves, the problem is that they were unable to supply the necessary volume for the market. Then there's also product pricing and difficulty in securing permits, licenses, and taxes. Now also there's also the barrier for trade or difficulty with regards to distribution infrastructure and logistics support. Most of them are located in outlying provinces, so it would be very much costly for them to distribute their products here in Metro Manila. They have limitations with regards to product transport, product warehouse, redistribution, tracking, and trade maintenance. And market trade perceptions and policies. Of course, there's the problem on poor quality. For example, we have this product from Mindoro where it was produced by the IPs, and when it's a juice concentrate, and when we introduce it to supermarket buyers, when they saw that it's from these communities, they have that perception that this is of poor quality. So as an assistance, we did some relabeling product repackaging, and we helped them also to improve their manufacturing practices. Unreliable supply, and when you engage in mainstream market, the entry costs and fees are very expensive, and the terms and conditions of payments is much longer, so that would also be a big difficulty for community-based enterprise. Delivery, then supermarkets would also requiring 100% returns on on bad stocks. These are stocks that are damaged or packaging, so it's damaged. And of course, aside from that, it's not only limited to delivering it to supermarket, it has to be refilled. So this is also a concern for the community-based enterprise. So we have identified these trade barriers, and Upland Marketing Foundation provided the bridge to overcome this trade barrier, as shown in the next slide. So we served as a bridge for the community-based enterprises. As I mentioned, the primary trade barriers is really a big, great market divide for them. So we have developed the market, and we have given them access to markets, especially the mainstream markets here in Metro Manila. Can we go back? Forward. Okay. This is our enterprise development framework or model, where UMFI serves as a go-between or intermediary for community-based enterprise. So UMFI focuses on its core competency, links up with partners, and outsource ancillary services so that we can focus on our competency. And we sort of provide the assistance in terms of technology for product development, business and management systems. We also link community-based enterprise to financial institutions or our financial institution partners. And we provide the market, industry, and information intelligence for the community-based enterprise so that they can continuously develop or upgrade their products. Next slide, please. So aside from performing market intermediation, UMFI, as I mentioned the vision before, we have operationalized our vision mission statement to ensure to provide production to improve community business enterprise capacity. And beyond this, UMFI had adopted value chain management as a major strategy that provided an anchor for enterprise development. Medyo malabo yung slide, but this is how we conduct a appraisal on community-based enterprises. So there are 3 stages where we conduct the appraisal. One is start up, then build up, and take off commercial stage. In these various stages, we have integrated packages of assistance. So it differs from or between the stages. For startup, these are CBEs that we define that is starting from bottom up. So the intervention or capacity building is aimed at establishing their or strengthening their organization and their capacity. So, but if they for products that were developed during the startup stage, the market engagement is limited only to local markets, fair trade, Changi, and small stores. Now, if the CBE have already progressed from startup to build up, we also have sets of integrated package of assistance to further strengthen their organization, their production facilities, their production capacity. And they could graduate from the small markets to bigger markets, such as the mainstream retailers and institutional and supermarket institutional customers. Now, for the take-off commercial scale, these are the very established community-based enterprise, where the package of assistance would be much lesser as compared to the build-up and start-up stage, because they are more stable. They've already been engaged for a certain number of years. Their capacities have already been developed, and there's this opportunity for them to explore bigger markets, both domestic and export. Now, in this in this framework or in this appraisal, we have partnership or facilitate partnerships with facilitators or capacity building partnerships that provide the packages of assistance for these community-based enterprises during these development stages. Now, this is our value chain model where UMFI, Upland Marketing Foundation, actively engages, or it provides, these are the value-added inputs along the chain for CBE so that their products would be competitive, more competitive, and will provide them, ensure lesser costs, provide them more margins. So in the area of research and development, we provide them assistance for the improvement of their products to focus on markets and focus on specific industries. Input sourcing, we have helped them out in technology, raw materials, and production inputs. For production standards, we have shared with them, with some communities, quality control standards, costing, pricing for their products, skills, upgrading of the skills of their organization members, system and structure. And for distribution, we have provided them or opened the market for them, and we have opened especially a big market, the retail chain for them, and provided logistics support and deliveries. And for the servicing or to ensure the sustainability and servicing of this product, we also do the selling collection for them, channel maintenance and promotion. And most important, of course, is the customer feedback. Especially nowadays, customers are very discriminating. So at Upland Marketing, we are right now more consumer focused or consumer centric. If I'll be showing to you slides before of products that we have developed and is continuously upgrading and developing because of the changing consumer preferences. I'd like to share to you the evolution of Upland Marketing. From 2001 to 2003, we experimented as intermediary for CBEs with the mainstream market. So we built an organization for distributorship in consumer trade. We developed product lines. We were limited to upland products. Now we have expanded to lowland and coastal community products. Thank you. We also established partnership with SMEs and prospects for organic rice. From 2004 to 2006, we found out that there was a growing preference for healthy products. So we positioned it to grab these opportunities. So there was an emergence of demand for organic rice and muscovado sugar. And from 2007 to 2010, we focused on value chain management in key economic subsectors and local development. Earlier, I shared with you that we were providing assistance to communities to develop products. So in the process, we were developing each product for each communities. Now it's more costly, more difficult to engage it into the market. So we are now focusing on value chains where there's a possibility for an established value chain. We can invite value chain suppliers so that they can be a part of the value chain. Now, these are the products that we have developed through the years. During the early years, from 2003, this was the packaging, and eventually we have improved it, and we're still continuing to improve it because of consumer changes in preferences or consumer taste. Example, high fiber rice, that was the previous packaging. This is the current packaging. Now we introduced the black rice and we labeled it and branded it as forbidden rice. And the red rice, the polished red rice, we introduced as pink rice, and our positioning is that it is better than white rice. And we're doing some research and development on organic rice flour, but we have not yet launched that. We're probably be exploring that. For muscovado sugar, we And since there was a growing demand for Muscovado sugar because it was perceived by consumers as healthy, so we come up with the brand and packaging. That was the old packaging, this is the new packaging, and we're still developing it. And we have our own in-house brand that would hopefully, if we can develop this and it becomes a strong brand, would benefit Muscovado farmers and probably in the future coffee farmers. And this is what I mentioned, we recently assisted Linabu for cocoa sugar. So we're marketing it right now in supermarket chains, cocoa sugar available in sachet and package, 200 gram package. These are also products under research and development. Yeah, also likewise. These are the labels that we have done to help, examples of labels that we're doing to help the CBEs. These are our in-house brands, but we'll also help them develop their own brands and labels. These are the market tops. I mean, I'm sure you're aware of SM, Pure Gold. You already know that. Yeah. An overview of our current operations. We've established partnership with 110 communities nationwide, but there are roughly around 8 strong partnerships, and we have already distributed to 300 retail outlets nationwide, and we've enjoyed 9 years of sustained growth with 171 million of CBE products traded, mostly in mainstream market. And we enjoyed, for our primary stakeholders, they've enjoyed an 89% in farmers' gross income, and increasing community partners. Previously it was 1, now we've expanded to 10 CBEs, which is, I mentioned earlier, the value chain model where. And for Muscovado, we have 1 CBE suppliers expanded to 6 CBE suppliers. It's already becoming that. We came up with the in-house brand for it to become a vehicle for community products to market their products through this brand. Now we have been engaged in value chain development programs. We have facilitated the both agricultural loans and for trading and milling operations from UMFI, but in later years we partnered with Federation of People's Sustainable Development Cooperative. And we are in the process of assisting getting them organic certification in view of the coming up, the organic law. So we're preparing for this, and we're also overlooking the milling process and to ensure product quality. We're regularly communicating and dialoguing with our CBE suppliers with regards to their products and with regards to products quality and standards. Now recently we tried to capture the entire UMFI value chain in this chart or illustration. There's 2 facets to UMFI. There's the development and business side. The development side, they're the one that interacts or engages with the community business enterprise, both Link and CBEs, donors, LGUs, academic, government agencies, microfinance, and other development agencies. And the business sides, they're the one that engages the market for supermarket, hotel, restaurants, industrial, and exports. Now we have crafted a vision for the next 5 years, and it's much shorter compared to the previous vision. So we're looking at to becoming a globally recognized marketing organization with a value chain approach focused on building sustainable business-based and community-based enterprises. And our mission statement: developer of valuable sustainable value chains for community-based enterprise, provider of affordable access to appropriate technology, stable financial resources, and growing markets to community-based enterprise, provider of high quality and healthy products to consumers, advocate of fair trade, the whole value chain, and complements the mandates and advocacies of the members of the governance structure, and provides a rewarding career to its employees. And our strategies for the next 5 years would be further product development, differentiation, and market development, especially the underdeveloped markets like the export market and institutional market. And we are strengthening and developing existing value chains and new value chains. We are a part of the strategy is to tap alliances with community-based enterprise and partners that could provide, or capacity builder partners that could provide the assistance to CBEs, utilizing their resource and expertise. And we'll continue to tap financial resources for CBE capacity building. And we're also looking into the possibility of opening up the value chain players as direct stakeholders to UMFI. This is, I'd like to share to you the new structure that we have in line with the vision we have crafted.